Imagine if Slay the Spire got thrown into a wacky anime universe with huge weapons. Witch and Council is a cartoonishly styled deck-building roguelike, which sees us follow the journey of Lulu and her talking hat. Gryffindor! To take down the strangely behaving student council in a charming yet lacking combat system. So let's throw a coin into the slot machine, play the first 2 hours of Witch and Council and see if it is a real fun or a refund. With the familiar roguelike tropes of a randomly generated map with a shop, choice-based events and of course combat encounters, we journey through various locations with members of the student councils forming the end of the road as boss fights. Taking them down sees us furthermore convince them that the highest council member acts out of character, seeing them join our efforts and add their combat skills to our arsenal. These fights let us use the various cards of the charming characters, limited by a mana resource, while every character has their own unique cards and passives. Rose, for example, utilizes numerous poisoning effects. Miller puts up shields and taunts our enemies to draw in their attacks, while Lulu focuses on dealing direct damage with most of her cards, benefiting from the amount of cards played before her action. This combination of different card and targeting effects see us strategize each move precisely, to avoid as much damage as possible from the enemy's attacks, which are visibly indicated. Utilizing the different skill sets as well as the passive abilities of the characters gets even more strategic once we unlock a 4th character. Since we are only able to battle with 3, switching out the different heroes lets us utilize their skills to the fullest. This saw me, for example, change out the status ailment focused Rose with the gunslinger Ray, who deals direct damage and puts up vulnerability or weakness stats. The translation is not always on point. These weakness stats let us ignore the defensive shields of our opponents, which works like a charm with Lulu's heavy scythe attacks. Apart from the basic cards each hero comes equipped with, the deck is constantly growing, since we obtain new cards after each fight, while the gold coins we gather can be further used for more cards, relics which passively increase specific characters, or usable items in form of scrolls. While these one-use items give us an edge during fights, the relics are the real game changer, with one for example reducing Miller's card costs by 1, letting us put up those valuable shields easier during each turn. One more way to enhance our combat prowess is through card upgrades. Every once in a while we encounter a campfire to restore some health, remove one card from the deck and also upgrade one card, improving their effects like a higher damage output, more shield points or even regaining health for specific characters. While these few customization options give us ways to improve our run's success chances, it is far from guaranteed that we actually beat the last council member. Failure during a run sees us reset back to the start, with a complete memory loss of every character and even a restart of all the tutorials. With a non-existent progression system outside of the runs, I finished my 2-hour game time and came to the following verdict. Witch and Council combines the usual deck building tropes with a cute and charming art style. While the combat is entertaining enough, it is a tad too long-winded and sees us reuse some cards over and over again until we grind down the a tad too high health points of our enemies. The soundtrack is catchy and fits the charming, childlike setting and yet is a tad too repetitive with a seemingly 1-minute loop of all tracks. And while the story is charmingly presented, it gets a tad bogged down by an odd translation. With a few additional bugs I encountered, making one fight in particular fittingly mysterious, I would say that Witch and Council is a refund instead of a real fun. Would you agree with my verdict? Let me know in the comments and don't forget to clear your browser history after this one.